Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that most men think about but rarely talk about openly: why a woman craves intimacy with you. And I'm not just talking about physical intimacy, I mean real, deep connection. The kind that makes her want to be around you, trust you, and desire you on a level that goes beyond attraction. A lot of guys assume it's all about looks, money, or status, but that's not the full picture. In fact, what really draws a woman in is often much deeper than that. It's about how you carry yourself, how you think, and how you move through the world. This is where Stoicism plays a huge role. Because let's be honest, confidence, emotional control, and a strong mindset are powerful. And when you embody those traits, women notice. Now, before we get into it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's jump in. So imagine this. You walk into a room and you're not the loudest guy there. You're not flexing, not showing off, not trying to impress anyone. But there's something about you, an energy, a presence that makes people, especially women, take notice. It's not arrogance, it's self-assurance. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and not needing validation from anyone else. This is where most men go wrong. They think they need to chase, convince, or prove something to women. But in reality, a woman craves intimacy with a man who stands firm in his identity. A man who doesn't react emotionally to every little thing. A man who can handle himself, who doesn't get thrown off by external circumstances. And this is where Stoicism gives you an advantage. Because when you practice self-mastery, when you control your emotions instead of letting them control you, you become someone people, especially women, want to be around. Think about it. Why would she want to connect deeply with someone who's always anxious, insecure, or overly reactive? She won't. She'll gravitate toward the man who remains steady no matter what life throws at him. Let's take it a step further. A woman craves intimacy with a man who makes her feel safe, not just physically but emotionally. And I don't mean safe in a boring way. I mean safe in the sense that she can be herself around you. She can be vulnerable, open up, and know that you won't judge her, freak out, or use her emotions against her. Most guys think they have to fix everything. But the truth is, sometimes she doesn't need a solution. She just needs presence. She needs to feel that when she's with you, the world slows down. That's a rare quality in men today. Most are too distracted, too caught up in their own heads, or too focused on impressing her rather than actually connecting with her. And that's where emotional intelligence comes in. If you're constantly reacting, if you're too needy, or if you let your ego dictate how you interact, she'll sense it. Women are incredibly intuitive. They pick up on energy, on subtle cues, on the way you respond to situations. If you're calm, collected, and grounded, she'll feel it. And that's what makes her want to be close to you. Now let's talk about ambition. A woman craves intimacy with a man who has direction in life. It's not about being rich or famous. It's about having a purpose, a mission, something that drives you. Because when you're passionate about something, it shows. It creates an energy that's magnetic. Women don't want a man who's just drifting through life, waiting for things to happen. They want a man who is actively building, growing, and evolving. And when you're focused on your goals, when you're disciplined and dedicated, she respects that. She sees that you're not just looking for someone to complete you, you're already complete, and she wants to be a part of your journey. That's powerful, that's attractive, and that's why Stoic principles matter. Because they teach you discipline, they teach you resilience, they teach you to focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. And when you embody that mindset, women see it, they feel it, and they crave that level of stability and certainty.
Here's something that most men overlook: mystery. Now, I'm not talking about playing games or being manipulative. I mean genuine depth. A woman doesn't crave intimacy with a man who lays everything out on the table right away. She wants to discover you over time. She wants layers. If you're an open book, if you're constantly oversharing, constantly trying to explain yourself, you remove the excitement of discovery. A Stoic man knows the value of silence. He knows when to speak and when to simply observe. And that kind of composure is rare. It creates an air of mystery, and that keeps her intrigued. Because think about it. If a woman can predict your every move, if she knows exactly how you'll react, where's the excitement? But when you have depth, when you have experiences, knowledge, and a certain level of unpredictability, she's drawn to that. She wants to understand you, and that curiosity fuels connection. At the end of the day, intimacy isn't just about attraction. It's about connection. And connection is built on respect, presence, emotional stability, and a sense of purpose. A woman craves intimacy with a man who makes her feel something real, not just excitement, not just passion, but security, trust, and depth. And if you embody Stoic principles, if you work on yourself, build self-discipline, and develop emotional control, you naturally become that man. You won't have to chase. You won't have to convince. She will feel drawn to you because of who you are, not because of what you're trying to be. So, if you want to attract meaningful, deep connections, start with yourself. Focus on growth, on mastering your emotions, on becoming the kind of man who doesn't need validation from anyone else. Because when you do that, you won't just attract women. You'll attract respect, admiration, and success in every area of your life. Unexpected situations, stress, challenges. And if you're the kind of man who remains centered no matter what, she feels that. She trusts that. She wants to be close to that energy. Because let's be honest, there are a lot of men out there who are easily shaken. They get defensive, emotional, or desperate for approval. And that energy? It repels women. She doesn't want to feel like she's dating a man who is searching for validation. She wants to be with someone who already has it within himself. That's where Stoicism comes in. A true Stoic man isn't cold or distant. He's just emotionally stable. He knows what he can control and what he can't. And when a woman sees that in you, it creates an instant sense of attraction and trust. Now, let's talk about something that's rare in men today. Emotional intelligence. A woman doesn't crave intimacy with a man just because he's strong or confident. She wants to feel understood. She wants to feel safe expressing herself around you. Most men go wrong here. They think being a good partner means always trying to fix her problems. But the truth is, sometimes, she doesn't want a solution. She just wants presence. She wants a man who listens without immediately offering advice. A man who doesn't judge her emotions, but instead makes her feel seen. You ever notice how some men just have this magnetic pull with women? It's not because they're rich, famous, or have the perfect jawline. It's because they get it. They understand how to create a space where a woman can relax, open up, and just be. That's rare. And that's why it's so attractive. So, the next time a woman shares something with you, pause. Really listen. Don't interrupt, don't rush to fix it. Just be present. Because when she feels like she can emotionally connect with you, that's when real intimacy starts to build. Now let's get into something that a lot of men overlook. Mystery. Here's the thing. If a woman can predict everything about you, if she knows exactly what you're going to say, how you're going to react, what your entire routine is, where's the excitement? A man with depth is intriguing. He doesn't overshare everything about himself right away. He lets people, including women, discover him over time. Think about it. When you first meet someone, there's this excitement, this curiosity. That's because there's an element of the unknown, and that's what makes people want to keep coming back, to unravel the mystery. But if you lay everything out on the table too soon, you take away that excitement. A woman craves intimacy with a man who has layers, someone who has stories, experiences, knowledge, and perspectives that she wants to learn about. This doesn't mean playing games or being secretive. It just means having a life that is so full and interesting that she naturally wants to be a part of it. And finally, let's talk about purpose. A woman doesn't crave intimacy with a man who is just waiting for life to happen. She wants to be with someone who is building something, whether that's a business, a passion, a mission, or just self-improvement. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be famous. But you do need to have something that drives you. Because that energy, it's attractive. When a man is focused, when he's disciplined, when he's pursuing something greater than himself, it creates a magnetic pull. A woman doesn't want to be your entire world. She wants to be a part of your world. So if you're constantly chasing relationships, constantly looking for validation, you're missing the bigger picture. Instead, shift your focus. Build your life in a way that makes people, including women, want to be part of it. At the end of the day, attraction isn't just about looks, money, or status. It's about presence, confidence, purpose. It's about the way you make her feel. If you embody Stoic principles, if you stay composed, if you focus on self-mastery, if you create a life that's meaningful, you won't have to chase women. They will naturally crave intimacy with you because of who you are. So focus on growth. Focus on discipline. Focus on becoming the kind of man that a woman wants to connect with on every level. And trust me, when you do that, everything else falls into place. That's it for today's video. If you found this valuable, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, what's one trait you think makes a man truly magnetic? Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and keep leveling up.